Yo, what is good, guys? We are back with another reaction video, guys. Look, man, we're gonna be checking out the 5 biggest problems the 2026 World Cup could face. Look, guys, we have been talking about 2010 World Cup, the last World Cup in Qatar, and we've been, I think we've all a little skeptical, a little, you know what I'm saying, curious on how this World Cup will play out in in Americas in 2026. So let's go ahead and check this video out together, man. If you guys are new here, hit that sub button. Let me know any vids you'd like me to check out. Let's get right into this, man. Link to this vid will be in the description as well.
In the quarterfinals of the 2025 Club World Cup at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, Chelsea are 1-0 up against Benfica. But there's something wrong. The players aren't playing. They're being forced to leave the pitch, and the tens of thousands of fans watching on are being asked to shelter inside the stadium. And this wasn't a one-off. It also happened here, here, and here. In fact, it happened 6 times across the whole tournament. Over 7 hours of delays, all caused by one thing: violent storms. And it wasn't the only problem the tournament faced. Players warned about extreme heat, fatigue, and pitches that weren't ready for elite level football. The reason this all matters? In just 7 months' time, the USA will be hosting the biggest sporting tournament on the planet, the Men's World Cup, alongside Mexico and Canada. So with more teams than ever before, over 6 million fans expected to attend.
Wait. So this World Cup is gonna have the most teams ever, and we plan to do it in the US?
Watching from home, all against a backdrop of political uncertainty, is North America really ready to host the beautiful game on its biggest stage? Because the 2025 Club World Cup was supposed to be the dress rehearsal, but it exposed major challenges. So let's take a look at the 5 biggest issues that could shape the 2026 World Cup. Okay, so let's lock in on an England fan.
My guy drew
This is Charlie.
Okay, Charlie.
Charlie is desperate to head to the States and watch a match. But before we get into the issues they could face on arrival, they need a ticket first. There were ticket price estimates earlier this year, and they're not cheap. In theory, Charlie could be paying around $60 for a group stage ticket. But if Charlie wants to get to the final...
Hey, that's not bad. Is that how much the tickets were? $60? Ain't no way it was $60, y'all. If that's that's not bad, bro. That's not bad for a ticket. I don't know if he just made up a random number, but if it's really $60, that's not bad.
The most expensive are fetching around $6,000. Compare that to the last World Cup in Qatar, where the most expensive seats for the final were around $1,600. But let's say Charlie misses out on a ticket and opts to buy through the official resale website. FIFA claims to compete with unofficial sites, resale tickets aren't capped. So these tickets could soar in cost, pricing ordinary fans out. Okay, let's say you've managed to get yourself a fairly reasonable ticket and you're off to the US. What's the catch? Well, let's find another football fan. This is Fahad. He's from Iran. It's his dream to watch his country at the World Cup, but Trump's crackdown on immigration means Fahad most likely won't make it if it's in the United States. Iran is on a travel ban list. There's been crackdown after crackdown on immigration since Trump took power again, and a tightening of travel restrictions.
FIFA has repeatedly promised that the world is welcome in America, in the United States, but without clear, forceful advocacy and action from FIFA, those words ring hollow. FIFA must use its influence to call on the US government to uphold human rights, end discriminatory travel bans, and stop immigration enforcement actions that target communities where matches will take place in particular.
Earlier this year, Trump enforced a travel ban on 12 countries and restricted travel to the States on 7 others. Now, the Trump administration have announced a FIFA pass so that ticket holders can jump the line for visa interviews, but still, it's not certain.
Your ticket is not a visa. It doesn't guarantee admission to the U.S. It guarantees you an expedited appointment. You're still going to go through the same vetting. We're going to do the same vetting as anybody else would get. The only difference here is we're moving them up in the queue.
So how tricky could this get?
So there are some instructions on the Department of State website.
Imagine paying for a ticket. Imagine you didn't get the $60 ticket. Now you gotta pay. You gotta buy a ticket that somebody is reselling for, I don't know. Nobody knows how much. Y'all know they be jacking up prices of resale anything. But imagine buying resale thousands of dollars to get to this point of the travel. You know what I'm saying? And get denied. I'll be sick, bruh. I'll be sick, fam.
But as yet, there is no actual FIFA pass appointment system. This will not in any way guarantee that the individuals are getting visas, just to be very clear. If they're subject to the travel ban, they're still going to be subject to the travel ban. If they are not eligible for a visa for whatever reason, this isn't going to change it, but it will get them an appointment earlier.
Hey, what countries are on the travel ban, bruh? Oh my gosh,
fam. Available. And they did say when the first travel ban came out that they might add additional countries, so it is possible that more countries will be added.
But there's another issue you may not have expected. How are you going to get everyone to the stadiums with the system the way it is? That's the reality for some host cities. Take Arlington, Texas. The venue is scheduled to host multiple matches, but Arlington is one of the largest US cities without a fixed public transport system, with the concern being both fans and locals will be met with traffic and delays. And in Philadelphia, their transportation authority...
Hold on. I've never been to Arlington, Texas, but how do y'all not have a public transport... Hold on, what?
A fixed some host cities. Take Arlington, Texas. The
They don't
venue
have
is
public
scheduled
transport?
to host multiple matches, but Arlington is one of the largest US cities without a fixed public transport.
That's actually insane to me, bruh. I feel like I thought every city, you know what I'm saying, definitely one like Arlington would have public transportation, bruh. That's pretty wild to me. That's pretty wild. I did not know that.
System, with the concern being both fans and locals will be met with traffic and delays.
So I'm sure they probably just got like Uber or they got local taxis, but they don't have trains, subways, things like that. That's what I assume. I'm sure they got Uber and taxis and things like that. They just don't have, you know, trains and those things.
And in Philadelphia, their transportation authority are facing major cuts, which could see almost a 45% cut in services and a 9 p.m. rail curfew. Philly is expected to host 6 matches. Overall, 6.5 million people are expected to attend the World Cup. But can the infrastructure keep up? During the process of selecting host countries.
And here I am thinking, US, if anything, when it comes to infrastructure, you know, things like that, I'm thinking US has got to be up there with one of the top places, one of the best places to host, you know, the World Cup. I would have never thought something as small as public transportation would be a problem at all. Like, bro, I did not know that Arlington, I'm still stuck on that Arlington, Texas. I did not know that they didn't have public transportation as well.
For the Men's World Cup, FIFA consider the infrastructure during the bidding process, but that hasn't stopped concern.
On the whole, I think we're relatively prepared in some of the major cities. I give us sort of a, B- if you were to give it a grade. I think there are definitely going to be some hiccups for sure, and people disappointed by the transportation systems. And frankly, it's just, it's due to decades of underinvestment in our public transport.
And what about if the host cities in the US change entirely? It's still possible. There's a political twist that could...
And I think it's because most people in the US, once you're able to get your license, you get cars. So most people do be having cars. You know what I mean? So I think that's the issue. I mean, it's not that we don't need public transportation, but I think a big reason is, I think maybe places like Arlington, most people have cars. So the need for public transportation is probably not that big compared to somewhere like New York City or LA or something, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So I feel like that could be the reason why they don't have the budget or they don't have as much public transportation as some other countries do, because most people have cars.
disrupt these matches completely. And it leads us back to Trump. Although FIFA are responsible for selecting the host cities, the president has threatened to move some of the matches, citing specifically cities run by Democrats.
Any city we think is going to be even a little bit dangerous for the World Cup or for the Olympics, you know, where they have Olympic overthrow, right? But for the World Cup in particular, because they're playing in so many cities, we won't allow it to go to, we'll move it around a little bit.
Trump claims he fears cities like Seattle and San Francisco are dangerous and wants to ensure safety, but with just months to go before the games kick off, that would be a logistical nightmare.
Hey, I'm not going to hold you. I think safety is a big, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that. I do understand it because there's a lot going on when it comes to Trump, for example. He's done got assassinated, attempted how many times? How many times now? You know what I mean? Plus, there like some of the events that go in the U.S., like I think it was called the Boston bombing, and you know what I'm saying? Those type of events in the U.S., something always, you know, there's always something, bruh. So and this is a world event. So we got people coming from different countries, you know, that might be, you know, like I understand the security. I do. I understand it.
And finally, there's one problem we really can't predict. Remember those matches we told you about earlier? Well, there's a very real possibility that could happen again. A report earlier this year found that 14 of the 16 World Cup stadiums planned to be used next year exceed what was described as safe play thresholds for at least 3 major climate hazards. That includes extreme heat, unplayable rainfall, and flooding. Weather is a very real problem for players and fans, especially the heat. The last time a World Cup was hosted
summertime in the
was in
US.
1994. It was one of the hottest World Cups on record, where temperatures during one match reached over 40 degrees. Those types of temperatures can lead to very real consequences on the pitch, with players suffering from heat exhaustion as a result and needing constant water breaks. Things will become clearer when kickoff times and locations are confirmed, as FIFA do factor in weather conditions to reduce the risk to players in these climates. Breaks are also considered during the first and second halves, where it's assessed it's needed. When we spoke to FIFA, they told us,
FIFA can confirm ring-fenced allocations are being set aside for specific fan categories at a fixed price for the next ticket sales phase. Participating member associations will be allocated 8% of the tickets for each match in which they take part. FIFA resale fees are aligned with North American industry trends, and the revenue FIFA generates from the World Cup is reinvested to fuel the growth of the game. We are focused on ensuring fair access for existing but also prospective fans.
Now look, we're not explaining all this to kill the mood, but millions of fans, thousands of players and billions of viewers are about to turn their eyes to North America. And when they arrive, they won't just watch the football, they'll be watching how the continent handles everything off the pitch too.
I think, look, guys, I'm just hoping that it is a successful World Cup. Like I said, I've only watched one World Cup, y'all, which is the Qatar one. So I'm hoping when I watch this one, because it's in my home country, it will be a good one and it will be a memorable one. You know how you guys feel about the World Cup being in the U.S. I'm sure a lot of you all not in the U.S. are not happy with it, are not excited about it. Yeah, man, I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to see once it starts. It's one of those, man. We're just going to have to see how it goes when it starts, y'all. But let me know what your thoughts are. Hope you guys enjoy my reaction, my commentary. If you did, smash that like, sub channel, guys. Stay tuned. That's for y'all. Peace.